Remember I said I was going to be doing a recap of the best boxing anime ever, which is Ashita no Joe? Well, here you have it. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to never miss a thing. The anime starts off with Joe Yabuki walking alone in the winds of the Namitabashi Bridge in Japan. Some crazy-ass children, who later became friends with Joe Yabuki, are seen running and playing games in the streets, while an old man is drinking and wasting his life away behind an abandoned building. Joe Yabuki then passes into the streets, and the children laugh at him in their minds because he's new to the area. The leader amongst the children tells his crew to follow Joe wherever he is going. Chukichi, the long-headed guy, then throws a trash can from above. It's like they seriously want to provoke Joe Yabuki, who's just chilling on his own. But Joe is able to dodge everything and kick it due to his natural fighting reflexes, and it falls on their leader's head. Joe then tells them to quit goofing around, and that if they want to play, he can play with them when he's in the mood. As he leaves and walks by the street, he sees the old man, Danpei, getting kicked out of a bar. Danpei then begs Joe for some money, but Joe kicks him to the floor. The old man tries to start a fight with Joe, but Joe strikes him down again. Joe starts to leave, but then the old man laughs and smiles at him. Immediately, Joe realizes that the old man is crazy. Joe wants to hit him again, but Danpei reveals that he was a fighter in his prime and blocks every single attack. The old man smiles at Joe and tells him to try out boxing, saying that he could be his coach. Joe pushes him away and ignores him. Later, Joe sees a group of so-called mafias or gangsters trying to mess with a little girl named Sachi. One of them tells Joe to get out of the way, even though Joe is just walking past on his own. Things get heated between the group and Joe Yabuki, and he ends up beating every single one of them. In case you don't know, Joe Yabuki was an orphan and a homeless wanderer. He also learned to fight for himself, so dealing with these guys was a piece of cake. The old man sees everything from the roof and is shocked to witness Joe's strength and pure talent as he takes on all the group members. The old man starts to glaze over Joe Yabuki's punches and begins shouting, Joe leaves after a little drama from Sachi, but the old man is still standing there, unable to believe his eyes. Night finally comes. Joe Yabuki keeps wandering and gets kicked out of a bar. The old man keeps stalking and glazing over him from behind. He finally approaches Joe and tries to convince him again to start boxing. Joe closes his ears, refusing to listen to anything about that stuff. Eventually, Joe falls asleep and the old man covers him with a coat to prevent Joe from catching a cold. Later, Joe showed up and returned the coat. The old man tried to convince Joe to start boxing, planting the seed of the idea in his mind. While Joe was contemplating it, a group of men arrived, seeking revenge. These were the same men Joe had previously beaten, a group of mafias who had now come back with reinforcements. A fight broke out. Joe tactically outmaneuvered them, taking them down one by one. He used his environment to his advantage, running, dodging, and counterattacking as they climbed after him. However, the situation escalated when the group's leader decided to kill Joe. He ordered his men to draw their weapons and end Joe on the spot. The old man intervened, pleading with the leader to spare Joe's life. When his pleas were ignored, the old man intentionally caught Joe off guard, delivering a heavy blow that knocked him out. As Joe lay unconscious, the old man threw himself over Joe's body, shielding him and declaring that anyone who wanted to hurt Joe would have to go through him first. The group began stomping on the old man, hitting his head and body mercilessly. Despite the pain and the blood, the old man endured the beatings, crying out, Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next video.